Good morning. Today is Wednesday, September 23rd. I am in Rocky Mountain National Park at the Bear Lake Trailhead. Get a view, we got some leaves changing color. Also get an idea, look at this parking lot. It is 8 o'clock a.m. I've been here for about 20 minutes. And I've had 100 cars do this circle. Rangers just came out and they're kind of patrolling people away now. So this is an absolute madhouse. Keep in mind with COVID, you have to have a special entrance fee. They have 2-hour windows and they only disclose so many permits. So 8, 10, 12. So it's actually hard to get into here for a a quick little excursion on the weekend. So my permit, the only one I could get was on a Wednesday. So I'm backpacking up to 3 nights. Gonna do a different version of a loop trip going all the way to the west side. I did something similar before, but not starting at Bear Lake. So normally I only come here in the winter. And it's interesting, if you get here at 8 a.m. in the winter, this lot will have like 5 cars, pretty full at the end of the day. But this is a madhouse. Starting elevation here is about 9,400 feet. I'm going up to Flattop Mountain today, all the way to the other side. Flattop Mountain is 12,000 and change. So definitely a steep incline to start out with. So once I get more into Bear Lake, I'll give you a better view. But again, a crazy start to the day. The good news is the elk are all out. They're rutting. They are everywhere on the drive up here. So hopefully I'll get some good animal sightings. All right, time to go. All right, so I'm now approaching Bear Lake, which is a fantastic spot to go to. So if you are visiting, I would certainly recommend no fishing or swimming. Coming here, this is a, I don't know, half mile probably. And I think there's like 16 gates, but anyone of any age can do this. There's stop off points. You can get pictures and photos, so it's definitely worth coming to. As someone that lives close to the metro of Denver, in the summer I don't come here a lot because it's a madhouse. Here's a view of it. The nice thing was my total drive time today to the gate, my permit in here was 1 hour and 50 minutes, so can't beat that. So I'll give you a quick shot here. So again, I'm heading up that way. So once I get a view, I'll give you a look. So the nice thing about signage in Rocky Mountain National Park, very clear to read, but it also gives you the mileage. You don't see that a lot of other places. You get the, here it is, but you don't get the mileage. So I think that's kind of helpful here. So I'm going to continue. I'll be going upward at least 60 to 90 minutes or so. So passed quite a few number of people. I think once I get going up here, that things should clear. But even from here, look at the nice view over there. And the leaves are definitely falling. It was windy a little bit ago. Probably only 50 degrees up here. So again, today is the first day of fall. And kind of has a feeling in the air to it. I pulled into the lot. It was 51. So should get a little bit warmer, but I'm also going higher in altitude. So my pack, low on water weight. I'm not worried about getting that. But I definitely brought a thicker sleeping bag and more clothes to wear at night. So I'm not going to say I have a light pack, I would say I have a full pack. All right, so I should have some good views in a little bit. Okay, I'm about 50 minutes into the hike, just approaching under an hour. Predominantly been all in the shaded woods. First time I've had full sun on me, feels good. It's definitely cool. If I was just normally hiking without a backpack, I would be cold right now. So I may even put my jacket on in a bit. So I am now looking over. This is Dream Lake. And then over there is actually Long's Peak. That's a 14er. Beautiful view right here, overlook. It's funny, there's a sign here that tells you not to descend right here. Wasn't planning on it. Oh, little chipper right here. How you doing, buddy? So, and if you look further on, I believe it's Emerald Nymph Dream, with this being Dream, that being Nymph, and Bear is way over there a bit. So I'm still working my way up Flattop Mountain. Glacier just behind the trees over there. Definitely see it. So I should have much better views in about a half hour, but I'm not going to complain with this one at all right here. So, and literally going along right now. Haven't felt the pack at all. It's been about a 5% consistent grade. I think it will increase, but probably hour 2 is where you start to, oh yeah, I'm wearing a backpack and all that. So far, I feel really, really good. So I'm gonna kind of enjoy this for a little bit longer and get going. All right, so taking my first break, and I'm definitely putting on my jacket. It is cold, so I'm now in full sun. It doesn't really matter, and the wind kind of comes and goes, but with the wind chill, it's probably, you know, 40. Get another good look at Long's Peak and kind of where I've come from. Not the greatest angle here, but you can see a couple of the lakes way out there, but beautiful. And where I'm going, so you can now tell I'm getting ready to enter an alpine zone, a flat top mountain. So what's unique about this hike coming from Bear Lake, it's not like it's a pass. You're going up to 12,000 and change and then going down. You're on this for many, many miles. So again, good weather day for it right here. Even though it is cool, if it doesn't have the storm clouds and all that, I'll take that every single day. So again, heading in this direction, and I believe there's a couple of false flat areas as well, but there are big rock cairns. So I've been at Flattop before. Did this once in the winter snowshoeing, and once I got up there, it literally is all white. You can't see anything. So I turned around and said, enough of this. But all right, so hopefully I'll be out there in about 30 minutes. Wind is picking up, so time to get rolling. All right, well, prepping to go up the hill over here. Wind is definitely picking up. It's going to be interesting up there. And unfortunately, I already made the bonehead move of the day. I always love bringing a backcountry beer, and I put it in here. You can see my other one. I had it over there, and I put my pack on, and there's like fizz coming out of it. I'm like, what the heck? Check my water bottles, and when I leaned it against this rock here, you can still see a little bit right there. It was fizzing and squirting, so I just drank half of this. Not my plan, but again, I'm gonna smash this now, bring it out. So I'm gonna get going because it looks like the wind is picking up. So once you're up here, it's the area, but time to get rolling. With the exception of my backpack smelling like beer, this is awesome. Check out this view. Emerald Lake, do not descend. So the snow across there, I've actually passed some on the trail. We had a storm about 2 weeks ago. That's going to stay there. So Emerald Lake down there, that would be a really stupid descent as well. So why they have the sign there. Hope no one's ever tried that. Dang, nice. More lakes, color popping. Keep my own telephoto. Over there, you can see some hazy smoke from, I believe that's the Cameron Peak fire, 50 miles north west of Fort Collins. So still have fires out here. Obviously not impacting it here, but that's spectacular. And it's definitely chilly. Glad I had a jacket on and all that. I may put my pants on. I think he's getting windy towards the top, so still a lot more switchbacks, but you know, half hour, hopefully I'm there. Definitely windy. Look at the trail. So snow is now very common. First time on the trail. Dirty footprints on it. Texture is a little bit like sugar. Sun's out, so a little bit of snow. Still definitely uphill. So again, this trail is a lot more uphill than what psychologically you think it's going to be. But kind of getting close. Getting great views, so I'll get a shot once I'm finally at the top. Alright, so I'm almost there. I'd say it took a half hour longer than I thought. It's just kind of never ending, but it's flattening out now. You can see now there's people and hikers up here. Trail's right over there. But I want to get a good look at this. So here's a good view. Look at that. And again, the big tall one, Long's Peak, that's a 14er. So in front of me is like glacial snow melt over here. The red color is like an algae that blooms. The sun hits it. Supposedly it makes it recede faster, and it's got some fresh powder on it too. And it looks like someone attempted to do something over there a little bit. That's a pretty steep incline. So again, flat top mountain, lots of people now hiking on it right here. So I should be at the main intersection hopefully in 15 to 20 minutes, but if I see something of interest, I'll explore as well. So definitely the most people I've seen. Very popular place today. I am now well on top of Flattop Mountain, coming from, you can't even see it now, it's kind of dipping down right now, but most people I saw were literally all at the major intersection right here. So the loop goes around the other way as well. So I am heading into the west side of the park. Faintly see the trail just below the Snow Peak Mountain and the top of that ridge over there. So very easy to see. And conditions, seeing as I'm at 12,000 feet, I'll take it. Obviously it's a little windy up here, cold. I'm going to say it's low 40s. Wind chill, probably upper 30s. Legs are cold, but I think I'm going to just push on and make it. So I was thinking about taking a lunch break up here, but I'm like, it is cold and windy enough, although it's dying down right now, to where once I get above that ridge, it's not more than a couple miles, and you get back into the tree line, it should be much nicer. And as I'm walking on the trail, again, you can see the cairns, but just to the right, I'm going to keep filming because you can see this is going to be a pretty spectacular view. Again, with fresh snowpack on top of the glacial snow, which is yucky and gray. The other stuff's from about 2 weeks ago. That's a pretty steep incline right there. But look at that view. Yikes. So as with most hikes, you gotta earn your views in advance. You do. As you can tell now, there's no one else on this trail. The park area was full. There's another lake down there. I do not know the name of the lake now. I'm also wondering which one I'm going to get to. Looks like there's a trail down there, but beautiful view. So again, the clouds are not threatening. So Grand Lake is right over here. You could get a glimpse of it earlier. Alright, I'm going to hit that ridge point over there, keep moving on, and I actually feel pretty good. It's flattened out now, so now you just got to kind of 1 foot in front of the other and be willing to put up with the wind. Pass is over there, approaching it, wind is picking up. Here it's worth it over here. I feel like I'm being pushed. Stopped, and then I turned the camera on, and here we are again. But so you can see the general direction I'm going is tree lines probably 30, maybe 45 minutes away, and I've been up here for about 45 minutes. So you are on Flattop Mountain. If you're doing a point to point, keep in mind I think it's almost 7 miles between the marker signs. Not quite as far from me, maybe around 5-ish, but you're up here for a while. So if you're not feeling well, you'll have to deal with it. And if the weather is bad, you'll have to do that as well. I'm not going to say the weather is bad today. I'm just not going to say it's good. It's kind of like right in the middle, so I'll check the box under. It's alright. So again, it's marked. You can tell the Forest Service does a lot of work on these. I have passed water. So usually when I'm up here, it's the month of August. And there's water all over. In fact, some of these areas are even elevated with rocks on the side of it, just to kind of skirt the water. So it's usually, it can be quite marshy and damp. You can see there's snow up here too still. So, alright, not too bad. I think once I get in the tree line, I'll take a lunch break, and I don't need water, but I'm going to drink a lot of it, and then as soon as it's available, I'll probably fill up. But again, 360 view, Flattop Mountain. Great day so far. Yeah, I just had my first water crossing and I got a marmot explosion. 1, 2, I counted 4 before I got the camera out. 1, 2, 3, there's a whole colony of them over here. Sweet animals, although you do not want them by your camping site. But they are cool. They're like 10, 12 pounders. They will chew through anything, so gotta put your stuff up. Because I was just thinking, this is the first time I've done this, and it's later in the year than normal. Normally I'm here in August or Labor Day, and it's the first time I have not seen animals anywhere in here. But usually there's colonies of deer or elk, but I think they're all lower now just because of the change in the season. But this grass will be covered probably in a few weeks. Very windy, so it could be just, you know, blow over, but still. All right, get closer, and it's finally, like you want to say the wind's gonna die down, but it doesn't. But at least it's no longer a really cold wind. It's now just it's actually pleasant out right now, so I'll probably take my jacket off once I hit tree line. Still following the trail, definitely single track and the cairns, and getting a better view of the area that I'm heading toward. As soon as I get around this bend right here, so I think it kind of goes to the right. It's like a horseshoe. So beautiful bowl. And there go the marmots chasing each other. Those two are playing games or something. All right, that way. Not a bad spot for a lunch break. So I just came from right between the trees, and these are the first trees I've encountered, trails here. You can see I got water right here. I'm now down 1 bottle, so if I really needed to, I could fill up here. I think I'm all right. And you can see the trees here are still dancing a little bit there, but way over there you can see the trail. Once I get into there, I'm thinking there should be some protection from the wind. But may not get the sun, and as I say, I get a big gust coming on me. That took off my jacket, I feel much better now. So almost 1:30, and I'm starting to think about light here. Obviously, but being fall and being in a wooded area, probably not going to have a lot of light once you hit a little bit after 5 o'clock or so out here, 5:30, you know. So obviously I want to make sure I get to my site at a decent time and set up. But again, just a general view of where I am, and I'm heading in that direction over there. All right, so I've been going through this rock area the last 10 minutes or so. Sorry, I almost lost my balance there. And I don't recall seeing this last time. This is the other side. So there's one on the other side, but again, the mountains don't care. So it's really rocky in here. You can hear water below me now. So this is probably the first true, easy to utilize water source right here. I was walking through, it was actually muddy there, so my shoes actually now are starting to get a little wet and dirty. But it came from way up there. You can see the grass. It's part of the, it just hooks all the way around. So I was in those trees for a while. I heard an elk bugle 5 times, counted it, and it was real. I was like, is that someone with a call? But no, there's no hunting here. It's a national park. In this area right here, you can see the bridge is washed out. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get water for one of my bottles now, just so I have it. And again, I'm looking for Granite Falls. I believe it's a few miles from here. But if the sun was out, this area would be awesome because, come on, there you go. The box would heat up a little bit, so I can probably at least get in the 60s here. So, all right, gonna get some water, and I'm gonna keep hitting the trail that way. So how do I purify my water? When I know the temperature is gonna get below freezing, I try to stay away from cartridges because they can freeze at night. You can air them out, and you can put them in your tent and wrap them. That will help. But literally, the first time it freezes, it is done. So what do? I have a SteriPen, so I will literally stir that. So I bring these Nalgene's because you need a big bottle to stir it in. And then I'll use this pre-filter here. So I just dug in right here, down that little waterfall, put that on top of my water bottle, let it sit there. It did take about 45 seconds because it filters out anything small. But look at this. This is about as pure as Rocky Mountain water gets anyway, so my confidence level is very high. You do that for 90 seconds, boom, water done. So it's a really, really good method right there. But again, you want to do it when the water is clear and relatively clean, and the UV light will kill anything. All right, so I'm going to get ready to go and be heading in that way. And obviously I will not be using the bridge. And I think that was out last time I was here as well. All right, the camera stopped working on me. So sometimes you got to stop, remove the battery, wait 5 seconds, put it in. and it works, but I had another elk bugle. It sounds a little closer. I'm not convinced it's 100% real, but they could literally be bedding down in the middle of this forest, and as you're going through it here, your visual is not very far. Beautiful forest. Smells great. No wind. I'm a little further away from the water now than I was 10 minutes ago, but I'll assume by Granite Falls, thus the name, I'm not worried about water there. So I think I have a high probability for some animal sightings later on. And again, there's ones you like to have and ones you're not a big fan of. Because again, I just think it's going to be really dark here tonight. So I think that, I think I said 5:30 earlier. It'll start going down again because I'm also precluded by the cliffs over here. But I bet you by 7 p.m. it is pitch black here. So I'll definitely do my best to eat early, be cleaned up, have everything stored in a safe way. You can also tell they've been doing some trail work here. So I have noticed that absolutely fantastic work with the Park Service. And the only other thing that really sticks out to me is since I was at Flattop Mountain and had like a dozen people by the sign, I didn't film, I took a right turn, I run into one person, and it was a guy coming this way, and it was at Flattop Mountain. So this is the third sign for sites, so they are starting to pop up now. And I always love the mileage they give you on these right here. This is also part of the CDT, Continental Divide Trail, right here. So, and there are people that will come up here with llamas, hitch animals, etc., and just sort of hike along and have a low weight on them. That's a smart way. I'm also getting first indicators of the fire. I think it hit here 7 or 8 years ago. So there are these random spots, and then there's definitely a section where it gets really, really bad. And last time I was in it, the trees are all done, but everything else is kind of coming back. And there are even raspberries. Because of the snow, I think everything is stunted, but I've seen wild celery so far and rhubarb. And I should see raspberries, but I'll be surprised if they're there. So, all right, I'll check in once I get closer to my site. All right, so I am now firmly in the middle of the former fire zone. And again, I believe this is about 8 years old. But literally right in front of me, these are all raspberries. And I think the snow just sort of turned them off and said, nope, not gonna happen. So in the burn zone, there's good regrowth in the soil. Again, more raspberries over here. Wow, these like literally lost all their leaves. Everything's kind of shedded. And you can tell the Forest Service is still in here taking down some of the widowmakers. But it's an interesting, I guess, ecosystem to walk through. So all the grass is back, but these trees they are done. And unfortunately, there goes timber waiting here. So Grand Lake is about, I don't know, less than 10 miles from here. So I don't really know a lot about the fire when it happened, if they were to help put it out, but it's just amazing that it didn't go much worse and go much further. So I think once I get out of here, I'll start to see some sights again. So I'd say now that it is 2:45, I'm about ready to start looking and get to my site. It is starting to get chillier as well. It can't be more than 60 right now, but very quiet. Again, it's weird. No noises, no nothing, but that's what I signed up for. So I'm heading in that direction. Good afternoon, it's about 3:45, camp is set up. I am at Granite Falls, and I've actually been at this exact site before. There's one more 100 yards that way, but it was taken, so there is somebody else here. So, pretty nice site. What I liked about it was very open in here. Last time I was here, all my stuff was wet, and I was able to dry it out, so I'm good with all that. And it's in a little bit of a depression bowl, kind of blocked over here, so I think it's a good site. I remember last time I did some exploring over there. There's a giant hill it goes down. Tent's all set up. I always take care of that. So I do have, again, my heavy duty bag and an insulated air mattress that is wide. Another reason why I have a 2-person tank, because I can literally sit right here. I'm not on that until I sleep. So I gonna have a snack. I brought some real food. So I got apple and peanut butter. I'll have that now. Probably finish off that half bottle right there as well. There's my beer can from earlier. I'm gonna wash that out. I'll get that one going in the water, cool it down. And then I'll probably do a real minimal laundry. Just get my stuff that was worn today, wet it down so I can dry it out in my tent. New outfit tomorrow, I'll wear it the day after. And it's actually very pleasant right now. So I'm still in shorts, I'm in sandals. So I'm gonna go down, get cleaned up, get my snack going, and maybe I'll check in around dinner time. All right, good evening. So it is about 5 o'clock on day 1. Last light is right there. I got about 4 fingers worth, so we call that about an hour of light. Just made freezer bag supper. Getting ready to try it right now. So this is part noodles, hamburger, mushrooms, and I think it's called rouse, like a marinara. So let's see if this is any good. It's fantastic. All right, no problem there. I'll be eating that whole thing. I also have my one remaining beer, Dale's Pale Ale. It's a mountain one. It's funny, I went above 12,000 feet, and again, I lost my other one, or about half of it. I washed some of my clothes that I had in one of my, outside of my pack, where I had the beer, and it probably drained. I don't want this place smelling like a brewery, so I did laundry. It's kind of hanging over there, and I have to go get water one more time to clean up. So I'll also make sure that I rinse this out as well. And then I also have a real recovery drink with, you know, potassium, calcium, magnesium, salt, etc. I think it's like the hammer drink with a little bit of a strawberry flavor. So I will drink that before going to bed as well. And I do think it is going to be cold tonight. I'm going to intentionally leave some of my water out to see if it partially freezes. And then my bottles, I'll put those in my vestibule and all that. But great day, very quiet. Outside of someone I saw over there, I have not seen another person now approaching about 5 hours. So, and I know people are out here. The areas are spaced pretty big. And again, I was at the site before. Water's a pain in the tail to get. There's this giant log that's over the trail. It was there the last time I was here, which I believe was 2 years ago. Could have been last year. I don't really remember. But it's kind of a chore to wash everything out. But I definitely will do that. Again, we are in bear area. And now that we are fully in fall, they are looking for food. So if they smell something, they will come to your site. So do everything right. You don't have to worry about it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and eat. And maybe I'll check in one more time and break out my map. I'm a little curious on my mileage. Since I've been to this site before, I did not have my GPS on the entire time. And it's like, what is that thing moving over there? Okay. All right. So I will check in with you later on. All right. Good evening. It is night 1. It's about 6:15, and the sun is now just going over the horizon over there. I was looking earlier. There's some clouds out, and I was trying to see if I could see the moon. I'm curious what the moon phase is going to be. I think my GPS will tell me, so I can break that out. So I'm just kind of looking over the map today of what I did. So it's a big map, hard to see, but I started again at Bear Lake. When I got there, it was an absolute madhouse, and I was there pretty early. So 0.5, then it looks like I did the Flattop Mountain Trail, so that's 4. So Ptarmigan Point and Pass was the area I went over, so there's 4. 3.8 to here. So again, when you were at Flattop, that was about 3.8 miles at the elevation of 12.3 and above. So pretty good right there. A couple of the other sites I passed, and I'm now at Granite Falls, and that is 4.2 to there. So roughly about 13 miles today, and it feels like it now. Now it's kind of kicking in, like, okay, so I just took a leave. I'll keep drinking my drink while I read a little bit. Tomorrow, I am literally going to be following the CDT trail all the way through these over here. I'll hopefully get that shortcut right there, and then make it all the way to the North Inlet site over here. And the nice thing is I'm going to do a stayover day there as well. So in theory, if I'm feeling good, I will do 2 days there. And then I will do day hikes on this trail here further up to Lake Nakoni and Lake Nanita. And those at about 5 miles, I think, each way. So that'll still be a pretty good hiking day there as well. And mileage, I'll have to look at that, but Just in here, it's 7.8, 0.1, 3.3. Yeah, it'll be another big mileage day, but literally it is here to here. But again, that's all big mountains right there. So map is definitely helpful with it. The sites are really easy to find. The only thing I didn't like about this one was the water. It's tough to get to. I tried a different route this time. So tomorrow I will try to avoid getting the water there altogether if at all possible. And I'll just start marching and hiking on, because literally Granite Falls, I'm not too far where my cutoff is going to be. And I've been to Big Meadows before. It's gorgeous and beautiful. I should be able to get water down there. So, all right, I'm going to read my Kindle for a while. Probably, gosh, probably go to bed around 8:15, 8:30. And again, I will look at my watch and see what time it officially gets dark. But I'm predicting it's going to be dark and cold. The only advantage to that, there are no bugs. Look, there's nothing buzzing around me. When I did get water, I did have some flies on me, but I think that snow literally killed everything. So that's one of the nice things, is absolutely no bugs. Good morning. It is Thursday, September 24th. It's about 9:30, which is a later start than normal for me, but it was a slower start. I wouldn't say it officially hit freezing last night of 32, but it had to have been around 35. I slept really well. The only issue I had is my sciatic nerve kind of acted up on me a little bit. And if you don't know what that is you can move around, do all this, but literally the act of sitting compresses your nerve, and it kind of slows you down. So it'll be interesting when I take the pack off today. And sometimes that'll just hit you for no reason at all. So that's the only thing I'm dealing with. But otherwise, camp is all cleaned up. It was a very, very good camp. There was no wind last night, so you could hear every noise. So generally, you sleep an hour, you wake up for a few minutes, and kind of repeat. But I'm glad I brought the extra layers. So the sun did not come over until it was about right over there at 8:40. Until then, I had my jacket on, my sleeping gloves, sleeping hat, extra layers. I had literally most of my clothes on. So the only thing I'm keeping on right now, I'm keeping on one layer of the thermal underwear on the bottoms. I just took my jacket off. It feels pretty good now. So the temp now stays here once I get hiking. Should be pretty good. So I am now going to complete this loop here, and I think I'm looking for the Tanahatu Trail. There's another option that could actually take you to the visitor center. You need to use the restrooms, get water, get rid of trash. You could do that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to just try to make more of a direct route, and I believe it's called North Inlet where I'm going, so I'll have to pull my map out later. But it's time to get going. Again, looks like we have decent weather today. So you can tell they've done some work here in this site since I was here last time. But the only weird thing is the way to get the water is definitely not done. So I did everything I could to avoid having to get water this morning. So I'll check in once I get to some sites, and I think the Granite Falls, I may check that out as well. All right, so if you come out here, obviously I stayed at Granite Falls, which is right here. This is actually pretty low for normal cycles. If you come here in mid-May, it'll just be shooting off here, but definitely a cool area. Yeah, so you got a couple people here right now. So literally the only 5 people I've seen are right here right now. So, all right, gonna keep moving on down the trail. But again, Granite Falls, maybe 100 yards from the site. All right, so I'm approaching Big Meadows and looking in the water. Hard to see. Got a little brookie right there, about a 9-incher. But beautiful area. So this will open up pretty soon to be a giant meadow. And I got multiple in here right now. Nice. So if you had your dry flies casting right here with the current, you can catch some trout. I have a group that's not too far behind me, so I'm going to keep on moving on and hopefully put a couple minutes between us. But otherwise, gorgeous area. And the weather is absolutely perfect. So I'm now a good 1.5 miles into Big Meadows. Giving you a 360 so you can see why they call it Big Meadows. And I believe yesterday, that's like the pass area going through right there. But amazing area. Every time I have been here, it just has to look like there should be animals all over grazing in here. I've never seen any, so I'm sure maybe they come out at night, whatever it is. It's pretty dry right now. Usually you go through here, it's kind of marshy and yucky, but that was some kind of measuring device or something here. So I just ran into a couple that was in their mid-70s from Houston. I talked to them for like 20 minutes and I'm like, wow, it's 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna try to make some hoofing miles through here. Should be within a couple miles of the visitor center area, but I believe I'm gonna try to branch off and skip that and keep on moving. And then I should be, I believe it's the Tana Hut 2. And that actually is a starting point when I did this trail before a couple of years ago. So pretty good weather, feels nice out here, making good time, and keep moving again toward the visitor center area. All right, so my first major trail signage. So I came from Granite Falls area, and I think I'm going to do the Tanahutu Trail. So I'm going to go this way. Over here would be the Green Mountain Trailhead, which I think is closer to the Ranger Center. So again, 4.2 in there. I believe eventually it'll open up to a parking lot area, which is probably where I'll take a lunch break. So great weather so far. Starting to see more people now. Not a lot, but onesies, twosies here and there. So again, I'm going to start going in this direction. All right, seems like it's been forever in those woods right there. It's almost 1:45. The aspens are sure pretty here. And you can see the leaves are kind of falling off some of them. Looks like there's giant water in front of me, so I'm going to assume that's Grand Lake. I have not been on this particular trail before, but I believe I can see some lodging over there. It should kind of turn into the trail that I've been on many times before. So I'm going to look for a lunch break spot here in a little bit. Break out my map, have a water break. Passed a lot of day hikers in the last mile and a half or so. So the visitor center is probably only a mile from here, back that way. I was going to go there and get rid of my trash and all that, but I figured keep on rolling. There might be something up here in the parking lot area. And what's interesting here at the Tana Hatu is you can enter this area. You would not need a day pass. You could just park here and get into the park. You could also go to the ranger's office. So if you had a permit starting from this area over here, you could just get in without having to pay an entrance fee. All right, so I think this is one of the ranger's offices. There's also been quite a lot of helicopters today transporting supplies that direction. So I believe I should be seeing a sign, hopefully very soon, about the trailhead. Yeah, here it is. All right, so I do recognize this area. So I'll get a quick shot of this sign. I'm gonna find me a comfortable rock and sit down for a while. But right here, if I am right, the parking lot is further down the road this way. Tanatu Creek. All right, so next major trail junction, I just took a lunch break. Actually took off my leggings as well. Nice temp out here, the sun is out. So Bear Lake from here is 17.2. Flattop is 12.8. Lake Nakoni is 9.9. So I am going to North Inlet today, so that's probably about another 6 and change, I want to say. I'll have to see here. Obviously I had the map in my pocket, didn't look yet, because I was like, you know what? It is 1:15, so time to get back on the trail. So this will cross private property. First couple miles of this is very meandering and just kind of pretty. There should be some horses and all that. So I've been this trail many times, but then it starts going uphill after about 3 miles, and that will not stop until I hit Flattop Mountain. But again, I'm not going up there today. So I've got about 8 miles down, thinking about 6 and change to go. All right, it's now 2 o'clock. I am firmly now going uphill. Past now 20 minutes. Catching it right here, dip down. Good view here. So heading in that direction. You cannot see Flattop from here. It's like a false hill. Colors are popping a little bit. Trail coming from that direction over there. So I'm probably gonna go about another half hour, take my first water break. But beautiful weather. Glad I took off my undershorts, I should say leggings, and definitely Definitely more people over here. In this area of the park normally gets more water, so the leaves generally pop over here better. But you can definitely see some of the slides there. And this is elevation. All right, time for some water. So I'm now at Cascade Falls. Time for some water, but a nice place to get it. So as I was approaching this bridge, I saw the water getting hit, and if you look, I've got 3 trout in there. One of them, 10-incher, 8-incher, and a small one, but it's a literally big rock he is hiding in there. So go for my spit. Nope. But kind of cool. All right, so I'm probably approaching the big pool pretty soon. It's leveling out just a little bit. You can always tell it gets really quiet, so this hike goes by the water and then away from the water. So right now, I'm hopefully at the big pool in about a half hour or so. All right, it is 3:30 p.m. and I am at the big pool. There's a waterfall in the back there. It's pretty deep. I've seen videos jumping off that rock. And when the sun is really in there, you can see big trout in there. If you walk around over here, you can stand about right there and cast into it. I've fished here before. It's probably the best fishing in the area because the fish are all concentrated in here. So there is a site over here. I've stayed there twice. Pardon me right now, which is I was staying there right now because I am tired. But I'm trying to knock more miles out for my trip back to Bear Lake eventually. So this is going to be my last rest stop until I make it to my site. And that could still be 3 to 4 miles from here. So I'm going to take a 5-minute rest, finish off that water, still got a full water bottle to go, and make my final push to my site at North Inlet. All right, so I set a proximity alarm on my GPS to go off 1 mile before the junction, and it went off just a little bit ago, assuming that it's right and not the trees blocking it from the satellites. But I've not heard water for quite a while, and it's definitely getting windier, gaining elevation, but I've never been up here before and seen HRI like this before, so I'm hoping by my site there is water because I am down to 3/4 of a bottle right now, and I still need to get everything for my meals tonight and tomorrow. But very interesting. No water so far, but hopefully I'm within my site within a half hour. Right, so the last site I went to was Porcupine. Then after that, it's all switchbacks, so it gets tough as you get up higher. Nice thing, I'm just running into this sign now. So tomorrow I'll actually be backtracking a little bit, and I'll be doing the Lake Nokani and Nanita. So that'll be a 7 round trip. So again, tomorrow's a stay day for me. And as I'm sitting here, I can see another sign right at the top of the hill there. And I'm really hoping that's my site right there, because I think I tried to choose it because I was trying to be close to this trail, but also, so Flattop Mountain from here is just under 6. And I think once I'm up there, so my departure day, it'll be a 10-mile at the most hike kind of deal. So, all right, last of my water is in there. So I'm gonna hopefully go to that signpost up there, set up camp, and find water because I am just about out of energy. But a cool view. I think the lakes are just over the tree line there, underneath the base of those jagged rocks over there. So that should be a cool hike for tomorrow. All right, so my last video, I actually backtracked and I turned where I took that video. I saw the sign ahead, and I don't think that was it. I think it is down this trail, and it looks like this is where they were doing a helicopter drop off right here. Smells fresh, looks fresh. So I did bump into 4 rangers today, 90 minutes ago. Talked to them for a couple of minutes. Interesting thing was that's what they told me they were doing, but none of them asked to check to see my permit. Usually they're pretty paranoid about that stuff out here. So I guess there's a bridge that's out. I guess we'll see. But yeah, that would be heavy stuff. That ain't coming up by horse. So it's obviously not this bridge. Or maybe it is. Huh? Alright. So maybe they're going to be fixing this bridge here. Oh yeah, it's got holes in it. So, cool view, that's for sure. All right, I keep saying it. I hope I'm on the right trail. I see a sign up here. I'm wondering if this is a place I've stayed at before. It's kind of ringing a bell to me. Here's a sign. Let's see what this says. That's it. So I have been here before, and I attempted to do this hike once and I got rained out. And it actually rained when I was in here and it filled up pretty good. All right, I'm at my site. Time to get set up. All right, good evening. About 5:45, trying to get some water so I can get dinner going, but I'm surprised I don't remember being at this site before. That beautiful site, but the bridge is definitely out, so they're repairing that. I was here before a couple of years ago, and I remember it flooded here. I attempted to go to the lakes, and it started raining on me, so I had to come back. So I have not done this before going to the lakes. So I'm kind of, because the light is going down, in a rush to get water, get dinner going. So I'll check in probably once I'm in my tent, but right now I've got it up, threw everything in there, trying to get some chores done. All right, good evening. It is 6:05, which is pretty late for me to have dinner when I'm backpacking, but it was a full day today. So again, I really didn't get here until about 5:30, got stuff going. Now I have water boiling, so I'm about ready to turn it off. So I dehydrate all my own meals. So I'm literally having tonight the equivalent of a hamburger helper. So I just took it out of a freezer bag. I put it into my Ziploc. I will now, assuming I can get to it, woo, curious what the boil temp is at this altitude. Probably closer to 200. Take my hot water, pour it into my freezer bag. Whatever is left over, I will recycle for tomorrow. Coffee, oatmeal. So basically, want to cover it. That's a pretty good guesstimate. Close it quickly. Get the air out. All right, so that is 95% covered. I'm all right with that. Then I have a koozie that I made here, and you can tell I've duct taped it over the years because it kind of gets mashed in the back of your backpack. Put it inside. So the nice thing about this cooking method is I use fuel for 2.5 minutes to get that going. This is now folded over, so I will set this aside. 6:06, so I will give it a good 20 minutes. At altitude, you usually want to go 5 minutes more than what you really think, but they tell you down closer to my house, like at 5,800 feet, it'd probably be 15 and it would be just fine. So I'll check in with you once I actually get it cooked, see how it is. Great water source, definitely one of the prettier ones I've been to. So again, I have stuff in my tent. It's not set up yet, but I'm gonna try to eat fast, get cleaned up, and be in my tent by 7 because it will definitely be very dark here. The peaks around me, you can tell everything's kind of going away. So this is a pretty isolated site, a cool site. I'm predicting the Rangers will be here tomorrow, and I'm wondering if there's gonna be more helicopter drop-offs. So I obviously will police my site very well. I'll do that regardless. But I'll make sure when I go on my hike tomorrow that I get everything put away right, because I'm sure it was just right down the hill there. So, all right, I'll give you a peek of my meal in about 20 minutes. All right, 6:25, it is dinner time. So here is what it looks like. So in theory, I think they we call it the gourmet hamburger helper. There's really such a thing. But the nice thing is I know exactly how it's gonna taste. The meals are good. And I can spice it at home. So I'll add a little bit more salt since I'm at altitude. But again, the idea behind it is, I know what this tastes like, unlike some of those mountain house meals. You're not used to them. And then when you eat one, it doesn't taste very good. It takes up a lot of room. Some of those things are $7, $8, $9 a shot right there. So I think it's worth to dehydrate. You know what you're eating, you know how it tastes. So I'm gonna try to slam this down so I can get stuff cleaned up here before it gets really dark. But I'd say cooked at about 95%. I probably could have given it a couple more minutes, but that's all right. So time to chow down. All right, so it is the second evening, and I am now getting camp kind of put away. So I will take all that in, but that's what I just sort of washed in the stream over there to get it ready. So again, I try to wear an outfit every other day. Only I've left sitting out here is my water supply, so I'm good to go tomorrow. One of those bottles is empty, but I'll be able to wake up. I may even move one by my tent door, because you got to remember, when you're sleeping at night at altitude, you're still getting dehydrated. So I probably will put the plain water just outside my vestibule there, and that while I have it available, I can go for it maybe twice during the night. There's no powders or anything in it. I'm not worried about the smells. The other thing I do now is I use my camp chair. It's always natural to want to get your stuff off the ground, but I learned the hard way. I did the Colorado Trail last year, and I left my pack sitting on some logs. It seemed natural. You got to remember that small rodents live in those areas, and they actually chewed parts of my pack. I had to send it in and get it repaired. Luckily, it was a free repair, but I probably still paid, what, 30 bucks shipping to get it there and back. So, again, I'll put mine on a chair. The last time I was at the site, I was camped up right here, and I remember the water, it moved out pretty quick. But this whole area, these trees are even pretty tall here, but it definitely filled up. So, all right, so I'm gonna go in the tent now, set it up. I'll probably come out one more time to use the restroom, wash the hands, but last view, that is pretty cool right there. So I am surrounded in a bowl right now. So the trail, the lake's tomorrow, is literally 100 yards out of the side of this rock, and again to go out, cross the bridge, and it's on the other side over there. So, all right, I'll maybe check in one more time, get a look at my map, guess my mileage. I'm gonna say 15 or 16. It was a long day, but I'll take a look in a bit. All right, good evening. It's about 7:30 on night 2, and I'm finally got everything all set up right here, and it's definitely cooling off. The trade-off is there are no bugs, so I do kind of like that element of it. So for later on, I will have gloves that I will be wearing. I'll have those ready. And if I really needed to, I'll have a face mask. I did not need it last night, and I don't have my socks on yet. I want my feet to dry as long as possible. I'll put those on. So looking at the map, the CD trail I've done before on the Tanahantu, and I'm actually kind of doing it in reverse. So when I did it before, I actually stayed here, did Flattop, and then stayed at Granite Falls. And I'll be honest, when I planned this, I didn't even realize that. This is going to be definitely more mileage because I'm also adding the Bear Lake hike, as well as tomorrow the 2 alpine lakes. So, not the greatest light, but again, I was at yesterday, Granite Falls. So went along the trail here, all in yellow. And I did take the little Big Meadow cut off, went down to here, had lunch at the Tanahantu North Inlet, used the restroom. I was able to throw in my trash. I like that. Then I got right back onto the trail, and once you kind of get a couple miles into here, it definitely opens up with the altitude again. Cascade Falls, I stopped off there. The big pool, I got some shots there. I got a little mixed up here at the North Inlet area. I took the wrong turn, but I didn't realize, again, I've been here, and I also wasn't aware that all those helicopter dropped-offs were for the site right here. So it went past Porcupine. So here's the area right here where I am now, and then I think tomorrow both my lakes are right in here. I attempted them before, but I did not make it because it started raining halfway, so I did turn back. So my mileage today was probably closer to 18. When I was planning the route, I was originally going to do shorter mileage today, do some tomorrow, build in the lake, but I thought, you know what, just do a big push and get here. So tomorrow for me will be a stay day. So this will all be staying here. I might even see more helicopter stuff. That could be kind of cool. But then tomorrow I'm going to go to these lakes and kind of explore up there, see what is going on. So a full day. I am definitely tired right now. I should sleep pretty good tonight, assuming there's no creepy noises outside the tent. And what's interesting about that, keep in mind, even the small ones make little noises. So even cute little Bambi can be kind of scary sometimes when you're sleeping in here. Got my solar light, and it's working pretty good. I'll have to make sure to remember to charge that tomorrow. So I will call it a night. I'll probably be in bed in a half hour. I'd say by 8 o'clock, lights out, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is Friday, September 25th, and I am literally 11 o'clock. It just sort of hit me like, wow, it seems like it's pretty late in the day. The sun did not peek through here until 9:40. And again, you just get these little bits of sunshine barely coming through. Got my laundry up now, solar panel, tent is buckled down, permit is on it. Let those dry out. So I made 2 trips for water, had breakfast and coffee. What was interesting is I use a Sturry pen. It's never failed on me. Today's the first time. It read as being too cold. So it has like a little frowny face with snowflakes on it. I let it sit in the sun for a half hour and I had to move it. I do have iodine, so I'd actually put some of that in there, but that takes quite a while. And I already had a bottle ready to go for today. So this was not an urgent thing. Just keep in mind you can boil as well. But you always want to bring a backup. I just used my Sturry pen 5 minutes ago, right over here, and it worked fine. So there must be a variance with the temperature of the water to where it works and it's not And that is definitely cold water, especially in the morning. Temp last night, it did not freeze, but I bet you it's right on the edge of it. I'm going to say 35 to 38. So today's objective is to go to the both lakes. Last time I tried to hike them, I got turned down by weather. So I had all my layers on earlier. I've stripped down for the most part now. I am bringing my jacket just because high alpine lakes can be notoriously windy. So I want to be prepared there. So, all right. Got to make sure I've got plain water in one of these. The other one I've got solution. All right, you can tell this is the one that has my Gatorade in it. And it looks like iodine. I actually put it in both of them. I had one bottle out by the pen. I came over and I put it in the one that was actually already done. Didn't need it. So this is just the plain water iodine. So I will be taking this one. I'm taking my Steri pen with me as well at the lake so I can get water there. So once I get marching on the hike and see some sights, I will go ahead and start filming. So I'm only 15 minutes into the hike, but this is the 5th deadfall I've seen. And I'm noticing it's way down at the base. So again, I'm going to assume fairly recent since the Forest Service is doing work up here. But wow. Yeah, 5th one. And I'm only, 15, 20 minutes into the hike. So, all right, beautiful conditions though. View of the areas around me. So I'm sure once I get to the top of the lakes, I'll have some awesome views. So I'm gonna keep scrambling and keep on moving up. All right, I'm gonna assume I'm about 3/4 of the way up. Awesome view. So I think the pinnacles, just hidden by those trees, is where the first lake is. And I could be wrong, but that could be Flattop. I'm not sure. Could be up there. But tomorrow I'll be on the other side. I do know that. And it's going up. I'm just not exactly sure right now, but I'll definitely find out tomorrow. All right, so this hike here, there's a lot of switchbacks and a lot of blind corners. So I am whistling out every now and then. You can tell right now it's starting to get a little more windy, which usually tells me I'm getting pretty close. All right, approaching the first lake. Guess what? The wind is picking up. No shocker. If there are fish in here, I would expect to see some right in this area where it kind of feeds in. So, still snow in the chutes over there, right? So Bear Lake will have 500 people today. This lake, maybe 5. Beautiful. So I believe the trail goes this way. I kind of meander around, have a little snack, but color of the water is really fantastic too. So, as I thought, a little bit longer to get here than what I thought. And then once you finally see it pop, you're like, yay, all right. There is no camping up here, no fires, anything like that at all. So it looks like the trail goes through here, so I'm gonna hang on over here for a while. All right, so I'm still making my way to the other lake, and I could visually see it about 10 minutes ago, but the pass is right through there. It's actually probably a couple hundred feet. But check this out. I think that is what you can see on the other side as a focal point. Beautiful meadow, definitely windy. I am very glad I brought my jacket, because at the top of that, I'm not going to call it a pass, but ridge, whew, had it been 30 or 40, I was getting chills. A little bit nicer down here, but this is cool. Plus these rocks have a little bit of warmth in them. All right, so I should probably be there in about 10 minutes. But again, I just wanted to get a better view of this right here. And GoPro cannot do that. Any proper service right there, how tall that is. All right, I am now at Lake Nanita. Definitely a little bit of work between the two lakes. It's not just over a little ridge and you're there, but probably one of the cooler lakes I've ever been to in Rocky Mountain National Park. So you get the nice color. Got some baby islands. There's a falls area where I just saw a sign. If you fish there, it's a $500 fine. So I can tell it's pretty deep right here. Going around, but right here, just looking below me right here, So you can fish the lake, but wherever the outlet is, it might be over there. Gorgeous. Fresh snow. Again, those peaks up there. So I was coming from that direction over there, and again, it's probably a good 300 feet to go back uphill. I'll be surprised if anyone else comes here today. This feels extremely isolated. All right, so I'm gonna take a lunch break, plop down and chill out for a while, and make my way back in about 15 minutes or so. All right, I'm descending down from the top of the ridge between the two. So again, there's a good up and down here, but a good look at the first lake, and then again, the horizon out there. So definitely want to bring a jacket on this hike. You go back and forth between sweating and getting really, really chilly. The top of that ridge is pretty bad. So when you hear the loud noise, it's wind, it's not a waterfall. So I should be down at this lake again in about 15 minutes. One last look at the descent down. And the wind is coming in a pattern of about every 2 minutes. So I'll be looking forward to getting firmly down and then back in that forest area. I bet it's 40 miles an hour and it's really gusting. It's pretty though. So if it's normally this windy, this kind of pattern, I can see why there's not a gazillion animals hanging out here. But last look, and the wind's coming from that direction, like it's coming down and right at you. So right now, it is now picking up again. Not as strong as the last ones. What's amazing as you do this hike, as you move along, you get to different areas and the weather is very different. So I am now actually getting a little hot again. Have everything opened up. But a pretty cool drop off right here. That's got some elevation to it. So probably under a dozen dead trees. And this is by far the easiest one. I think I even attempted to move it and it's hammered in there pretty good. So I will let it be. But that will be an easy one to take care of for the Forest Service. So, all right, making my way down. So remember, if you do this hike, there is the hump in the middle with the ridge. So there is an area of additional up and back on the hills. But otherwise, this is just straight downhill on the way back now. Switchbacks, nice peaceful hike. So since I crossed that bridge, it is being repaired yesterday. And actually a couple miles before that, probably Cascade Falls, I want to say. I've not seen or heard anyone. So definitely solitude, you just have to work for it. Good evening. It is just about 5 o'clock. And today was a pretty good day for a stay day, more or less. So I literally left everything here. I did put it away to be bear safe. But I hit the 2 lakes. It's definitely a lot windier today. So the sound you may hear every now and then, it's not just the waterfall, but the wind. And it's interesting to sit here and look at all the trees swing. So right now, it's actually very, very calm. Because you can just see over here, the trees swaying. When I look above my sight, I'm surrounded by them. Haven't thought about it a lot. This one doesn't look so healthy next to me. So I think at some point, the Forest Service will have to take care of these right here. All right, so I have dehydrated meal. I have, looks like it's red beans and rice. Pretty good. A little spicy. Then I dehydrated some good quality sausage as well. Put those on one of the trays, combine it in a freezer bag, cook it for about 20 minutes here, good to go. So I'm going to enjoy my dinner, and I also have recovery drink. Unfortunately, you saw it earlier in the video, I lost my backcountry bar. Otherwise, this would have been a splendid time to have a microbrew, but not going to happen. So I will probably get everything put away, try to get it organized tonight so I can get a decent start tomorrow. It will be definitely cold, but I will probably skip a hot breakfast and coffee and maybe just have cold coffee, but just try to get on the trail at a decent time. Can never really tell the weather here right now. Is it getting windy because a front is coming in? Not exactly sure, but up to now I would say it has been ideal. So all right, I'm gonna enjoy dinner, and I may check in one more time tonight, but if not, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is Saturday, September 26th, and I am packing up camp. Just doing my last site survey, make sure I got everything. Looks like it. It was a good camp. Definitely, I'd say the coldest night last night. At about 6:45, I had a nice elk bugle call, so I was technically awake then. Just sort of laying there contemplating. All right, I'll get up about 7, get out by 8. And I only heard one though, where yesterday I heard a lot more. All right, so just kind of the last view. This is where I had my bear vault hidden. Beautiful area. Fair clouds, so again, I'm doing 5 miles up to Flattop Mountain. Put away the GPS because I have all these sites marked in. And the trail is pretty easy to follow. Literally just cross the bridge, take a right turn, and then head up that mountain for about 5 miles. It will level out for a bit, and then gradually start going downhill. But I'm not even at 11,000 feet right now. And Flattop, I think, goes to about 12,300. So, good amount of climbing. I did forego a hot breakfast today, just because I wanted to get going. That can add time to it, so there's good and bad with it. Obviously, hey, hot coffee is awesome in the morning, but this was more. Here's the sign for my site. That was the trail yesterday, so not that way. Got to cross this bridge. Hope in a couple of years, if I do a familiar route, this bridge will be nice and pretty. So I would assume the season is ending down, seeing as how October is only a week away. So I'll give you one last shot of the bridge and the falls and get going. It's definitely got a lot of driftwood, so I'm sure when it rains here pretty bad, it bombs. Here is one side. So here's the bridge. So literally right now, it's shaking. These are up right here. So yeah, about time. That was also my water source, so definitely pretty cool. All right, time to start heading up the hill. All right, so I'm probably way into 11,000 feet now. It's all switchbacks. Up, around. They're pretty long though, so the gradient is not too bad. And the other nice thing here at this elevation, fresh spring water. All the way up, right? All the way down. So I passed 2 of these on the hike, and sometimes they sound like wind. So you're like, oh, is it getting windy? No, it's water. So the nice thing, when you do come up on the side, plenty of water. I got 2 water bottles, I'll be fine, but if I needed any, this would be a perfect spot. All right, making my way up the climb. I'm gonna say about 1/3. Pretty nice shot. So yesterday, under the jagged peaks, that's where one of the lakes is. So I can tell that giant gully goes all the way down to the grassy meadows. And you can see they go way out there. So meadow area in there. I think that's where the elk are. Heard them. Still snow up there. And over here, a couple natural avalanche chutes. So again, I'm on switchbacks. The nice thing is they're pretty long, same gradient, so I'm not going to say they're too tough at all. It's just you're at the altitude. But beautiful view. Getting a little breezy. Clouds are fair and wispy, no big deal. Okay, keep on going. All right, here's a cool shot of where I'm going. It actually will horseshoe around. Cool little ice slide there, right there. Waterfall. And the trail, you can vaguely see it switchbacking back and forth, and it will go all the way up there. So keep in mind, that is not the high point, that's just what you can see from now. So this is the crux of the hike right here. So far it's been a steady grade, so time to hit the horseshoe. So maybe when I get up there, I'll take a shot of over here just to get a different visual. All right, coming up on my last sign, and the springs do pop out on these trails, even at elevation. But here's the last. Mountains don't care. So this would be the area where if the weather was bad, you really don't want to do it right here. All right. You know, I'm right above, I think, that water slide now. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. Not really. All right, heading up that way. Still working my way up, got a long way to go. I've not had any direct contact with a ray of sunshine yet today. So where I came from, you can barely see the little stream over there. So the trails on the other side of that goes way in, comes out, a lot of switchbacks. So I'm kind of like in the middle of them right now. There's probably water, 6 or 7 spots in there too. No problem at all. And going, again, it ends up that way, but you cannot see the final summit. Definitely cold. Definitely cold. Glad I got all my layers on. So the nice thing about the last day is I just wore what I wore to bed last night and go. So, all right, hopefully I'll be at the top of this in 45 minutes or so. There's the trail. Last shot of the west side. Trail. You can see the lake. There's a tall peak over there. Wind gust was staying pretty, I'd say. I almost got blown over twice. Calm right now. Alright, there's Grand Lake way out there too. Get out of here. Pretty windy out here. Grand Lake, 4.5 miles. Can't get it in. Good shade, I'm gonna take a break. I'll like this for an hour. Working my way down. Mountains don't care. Hopefully starting right here, they start caring again. Beautiful view though, it's looking Long's Peak. Emerald, Nymph, Dream, one of those. I'm hoping once I get down the tree line, I can take my first break. I haven't had one. And I'd probably say the wind has added an extra half hour. I lost my hat, took my glasses, I'm chipping them now. My hat went about 100 yards. I kind of jogged, and it was on the tundra area. And luckily it just sort of stayed there, and I planted to pull on and got it back, but I thought that thing was gone. So, all right. I've only seen 2 other people hiking. They were wearing shorts. They didn't like it. They're having a very good time. But again, almost there. I'd rather be in extensive winds than lightning and thunder any day. Almost done. Alright, so Saturday afternoon, about 1:15, I'd expect to be encountering people now. So, latest signage right here. So again, I'm heading to Bear Lake. So this will conclude this edition of the, I'm going to call it the Bear Lake CDT loop, with the addition of 2 extra lakes and a stay day. Total mileage is probably about 45. That's 3 nights, 4 days. Absolutely fantastic. And the nice thing is you could do a similar route. You could add more days to it. That way you could do less mileage. You could cut out the trip to the lakes. So there's a lot of other alternatives you can do. And I want to say 2 years ago, I left from the Tantahantu, which is the other side. Flattop, did not add Bear Lake at all. Attempted to go to the lakes, it rained out on me, and went back. I did that in 2 nights. That was much easier. So if you were kind of contemplating which one to do or start with, the Bear Lake one is going to have significant more distance. However, I'll also tell you, the 5 miles, I would say, going up from here, probably the most picturesque in the entire park, as far as just the breadth of the landscape, being over the lakes. So I've been fortunate to be all over this park. That was probably my favorite area. So on Wednesday, the weather was great. Today, I'm not going to say it's horrible, but today was a day when you are up at the elevation at 12,000 plus for that amount of time. It was more of just get me from point A to point B and get me down. So even down here, we're covered in the trees. I'm probably now only at like 9,600 feet. You can hear the wind. The trees make a huge difference and all that. So a wonderful, wonderful trip. I hope this video turns out well. Thanks for watching.